Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to get into the second match of this Best of 5 series, the grand finals of Split 2 2017 of the OPL. Direwolves picked up game one in quite a decisive fashion as well.
Yeah, I really liked what Direwolves did with that game. I went back upstairs, I was watching a lot of the highlights and listening to what the analysts were talking about. And I think that a lot of what they were saying about, you know, splitting up the map and making sure that they stuck in laning phase and what Shern was able to do with his ganks and his pathing efficiency, you know, not necessarily being up all that much in CS, but repetitively visiting the same lanes over and over again was quite impressive. So now the pressure is on the Chiefs because Spooks needs to be able to find Shern, but not fight him because they want to isolate those lineups and see if they can get towards the 15-20 minute mark even and start playing their macro game. But Shern, that game, didn't allow that to happen, Fish.
Now, both teams are on the same side of the map once again. Are we going to expect similar pick ban?
We're going to see the exact same pick ban.
So you think this is just execution?
This is execution only. Direwolves would feel like they outscaled in the one-on-one and that they had the better split pusher. Chiefs would feel like their team comp was way better late game if they were going to get into a 5v5 team fight. Ooh, there we go. Kalista actually gave him some trouble in the laning phase, so they take it off the board.
And what was the ban before that?
It was Cassiopeia.
Cassiopeia. So Swiftest champions left up and available.
I mean, if you play Victor that well, do you even really need a ban Cassio? I don't think so. Fnatic's best Victor on server.
So Sharp seems like he's, oh, no way. They're not going to do it, are they? They lock it in? Ah, oh, come on, Chiefs. Ah, the 0-0 countdown timer.
I mean, you got excited.
Got me excited. I was excited.
I mean, you do not pick it in that situation. Lulu Cog, but definitely a potential here. Against Morgana Tristana, though. Does it really win? Don't know.
So, Sejuani is the lock-in of choice for the Chiefs. Schönfire will get another game on Zac, with this time Cogmore picked up for King.
I would like to see Morgana Tristana here. However, we've seen Raze historically play Caitlyn into the Cogmore, something that has fallen out of favor all around the world. Other thing that's available is Varus, has a much better early game. I think that you have to take Morg, though, because was very dominant in game one from Destiny.
Definitely was. Cassiopeia is the first lock-in here for the Chiefs. Let's see if the Direwolves have anything planned for it. Leaving it open on purpose almost, it seems. Oh, you would have liked this pick in the last draft, you told me. How do you feel about this time around? Nah, very early for the Chiefs.
I mean, the Chiefs have just taken what they want and said, we have absolutely no regard for what you want to pick. Because I don't think the Direwolves would have taken either of them off the board in this round. But potentially could have been a Nar Cassio ban round 2 for the Direwolves. It does mean that both Fnatic and Chippies get the counter pick whenever they want it.
Is Chippy's about to throw the gauntlet? He does. He's going to run Camille into Nar top lane.
So Swiper's best champion versus Chippy's best champion. Camille into Nar. This is going to be very interesting. If this game goes 50-50, there is no way Nar stands and delivers in a split push against Camille. As soon as she wants to get on top of him, just slingshots herself in there with a grappling hook, ults him, he can't run anywhere.
However, a nice proactive ban coming out from the Direwolves. Ejim has shown during the gauntlet that if someone decides to run the Protected Puppy team composition, he can simply run Blitzcrank into it and shut it down very early.
Yep.
But neither team has picked up their support, so Jish doing the same thing here, banning out those supports that can help Cogmore ramp up.
The problem is that they've got Janna and Alistar left, and both of them would shut... Not Janna and Alistar, Janna and Morgana left, Fish, and both of them would shut down anything aggressive Ejim wants to run, be it something like an alley.
And Direwolves have first pick as well, but they banned Janna.
Oh, so now do the Chiefs ban Morgana?
And then what?
Really interesting.
Did Direwolves go towards Karma? We already saw that
Taric?
in the LPL.
I like Taric with Cogmore because you just ult him and then you're like, you have a couple of seconds to kill everyone or otherwise you die. Go. And then it's just a race against the clock. Because Ejim has a counter pick versus... So they get rid of the Taric.
Wow.
So
they
apparently they like the Taric as well.
Go pick Morgana. We don't care. Let's see if Direwolves decide to do the exact same thing in this match. And do the Chiefs have something planned for this bot lane? Because it's very rare you see them leave both AD carry and support to their final 2 picks.
Yeah.
Normally at least one is picked up in the top 3.
Maybe this is a legendary Teemo Cassiopeia bottom lane, where Teemo takes E level 1, runs at them, throws a dart, you take E,
Does that still
and
work?
You just chase them. I have no idea.
Oh.
I hope we removed it from the game. And they take Karma anyway, Fish. So they want... So the only reason I can think about this is that Morgana gives one person Ardent Sensor and then is situational for everyone else. Whereas Karma gives everyone Ardent Sensor. And maybe they want it to be on Chippies, they want it to be on whatever Shern's going to play mid lane as well. That's different. I thought they would definitely play Varus for the lockdown onto Kog'Maw.
But it is Xayah, the pick of choice for the Chiefs, wanting the invulnerability more than anything.
And this must be Morgana, surely. Or do you run Alistar now and just say, hey, we can team fight? Braum has always been okay into Kog'Maw because you just jump onto whoever your tank is, in this case Sejuani, start pummeling him with Sejuani and try and lock him down.
But it is going to be the Mukau for the Chiefs. Locked in the bottom lane, very aggressive into this Kog'Maw Karma lane.
Funnily enough, Karma was kind of the person that just shoved Alistar out of the meta the first time around, Fish.
But I think it's kind of swung back into Tank's favor recently.
Has it?
I don't think Karma has the ability to bully anyone out anymore.
Oh, this would be awesome.
But is it going to be picked? Probably not. Let's see what the final pick
This is going to be a mid lane Kog'Maw.
Oh my goodness! That's a Caitlyn lock-in for King, and Fantix should be picking up the Kog'Maw in the mid lane.
He's going to run Wits End to mid lane Kog'Maw into Cassiopeia. That is so cool. That is, I mean, I could describe it in a very not PC way, but let's just say the courage on Fantix to run an immobile 80 carry in Game 2 of an OPL final against a Sejuani and a Cassiopeia is brave, Fish. I'm going to call him a brave man. If it goes poorly, he's going to look like an idiot. However, I have seen this play out in solo queue with these exact 2 picks, and Fantix absolutely smashed Swiffer.
Have they done it again here? They've picked up now arguably a winning bottom lane. Caitlyn and Karma should be able to do well into the Xayah Alistar pick.
Certainly should, and now maybe the Chiefs are going to wish they picked themselves Morgana. Alistar going to be hard punished in the double range matchup from that far away. Especially Xayah as well has never had a good laning phase into the Caitlyn. And, you know, all of a sudden the Karma makes way more sense because you want to give Ardent Sensor to everyone in this team comp.
And this is why the Direwolves have such a big advantage going straight into the Grand Finals. They showed none of this during the Gauntlet run. Pretty much everything we've seen today has been played by the Chiefs already during their Gauntlet matches. Sharp has had time to plan and prepare how he is going to draft against Jish, and so far both games he's done a good job.
He certainly has. I mean, I like the Kog'Maw now, the ability to flex it around. It's not going to be AP, guys. It is still going to be attack speed Kog'Maw. It's just going to be run out of the middle lane.
You wish it was AP though.
I'm still an AP Kog'Maw player, but this one will not be, Fish.
It certainly will not, and we are on to the Rift for game number 2. The Chiefs taking on Direwolves. Direwolves already picking up a single game and now throwing a Kog'Maw into the mid lane against Swiffer's signature pick of Cassiopeia, which they have conveniently left up this time round in the draft phase. Seems like they have a thing or two for the snake in the mid lane. For now, though, let's check in with Sarianne, who is standing by with Coach Jish.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm standing here with Jish. Now, the Chiefs have just come out of a loss. Was anything said to them during the break to lift their morale?
Yeah, obviously, like, we're not just going to sit there in silence now 12 minutes or something. We just sort of didn't really focus on lifting morale. I think we just like looked at what we need to change in our early game because we had a few blunders there that we need to fix for this game. We
haven't seen the Direwolves compete in a few weeks. Because of this, has your preparation going into this series been a bit different from how you'd usually prepare?
Yeah, we kind of had like a meeting last night about draft, and we said that game 1 would be like kind of blind. We just had to see like what they would do. We actually like predicted pretty much their draft for a lot of it, but yeah, I think that the Zach caught us a bit off guard. So yeah, I think that now we've got like the first game under our belt and we know what they want to do. Like we have a better understanding.
Talking about drafts, were you surprised by that Kog'Maw flex last minute into mid?
No, actually, like the first thing we said was it's a Kog'Maw flex. We know that Richard plays at mid. Yeah, so we've seen him play that in scrims and solo queue, and I think that his Kog'Maw's pretty good, so we have to be worried about that.
Well, best of luck with the series, Jish, and thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. So the Chiefs already knowing that the Kog'Maw mid was going to be a possibility here. Smart.
I mean, if I've watched him play Kog'Maw mid, there's a 100% chance the Chiefs have watched him play Kog'Maw mid, Fish. And also, early ward goes out from Direwolves King to make sure he doesn't get cheese.
And you can see they're already poking out this lane. Ejim and Raze are not going to have a fun time here. But Spawn, knock knock.
Who's there?
Cal says.
Cal says.
Hello?
No, they say moo.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm
you ruined
I'm
it.
not doing it.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. That's
Disappointed.
I'm not.
Even the producer's getting angry at me now. But coming into this match, definitely different from the Chiefs.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, I'm interested to see what they kind of look like because Spook started the cheese path, Fish. But the early ward spotted it out, so they know that they're not going to get cheese. Now the shove will be on bottom lane. Can the Chiefs win top side of the map, really? Enough to make up for what is a very bad matchup. In fact, 2 CS to 10 CS bad matchup.
And what do you think of this matchup topside? Nah against Camille. We haven't seen too much of this. And it's not really well known that Nah counters Camille, so to speak. She does fine into range matchups.
I think Camille actually beats Nah, if I'm brutally honest. Swiper just missed a cannon creep there, supporting my claim even further. Spooks, however, is behind them. This is the window they need.
Blast Cone can get him into Fog of War if he times it right in the brush.
But he also needs to go now.
He got in as well. There, he was undetected, and they're going in. Ejim already using Ignite on towards Destiny. Spooks going to charge forward. No flash available for the Karma. Gets locked down, and the Chiefs, this time they're going to be able to pick up first blood, and it goes to Raze.
Certainly does. So a good turnaround, and they're actually going to look for him. Another kill.
King will get locked down. Spooks charges forward, forces Schönfire to show himself as well. Flash is available for the Caitlyn, but look at Spooks' health. He has to flash away. Schönfire, though, gets locked down. King flashes on his face. He'll get a kill for himself as well. Ejim taking turret shots. What the heck is happening in the bottom lane?
The Chiefs force way too hard, Fish, and that is a huge error. You could see straight away that they did not have the ability to go with them. And with Schön still having passive and everything available, I mean, they've just given away their early game lead.
My goodness, that is what the Chiefs needed to start this match strong. Get a kill in the bottom lane, blow their summoner spells, and then slowly claw their body back into it. But giving 2 kills back is a disaster.
Certainly is, and once again, Swift is going to get hit. He's going to get unloaded on here.
Oh, you can already see how well this Cogmod does into the Cassiopeia. Swiffer, no matter, there's been only a single gank thrown his way, and Fantix is winning the lane. And we've talked about how Cogmod is no longer one of those you have to get to 40-minute carries to be effective. He's now a 3 relatively cheap item carry.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, he's good at 1 item, really. Here we go again.
Locking down King. Stun will come out from Ejim as well. Locked down by Raze. Could be another kill, but he doesn't flash for it.
Doesn't go for it this time around. He knows that Destiny has the Ignite available. So instead, they're just going to look to force him out of lane. He does miss a lot of CS, Fish, which is good from an experience point of view. Not really going to hurt him from the gold point of view because he is already so far ahead.
He's got a BF sword. Raze is sitting on a Doran shield. That's how far ahead King is.
Yeah, they also want to greed out for this next wave. They've already got King heading back from base. This could be a freeze if they don't time it well enough.
Let's see. Spooks is now down bottom side of the map as well.
Yeah, so he gets a ward on Gromp because he doesn't want Destiny to be able to freeze this one. And you can see straight away that with that knowledge, they push the turret. Destiny lets it crash, and they will deny the extra creep wave. However, Ejim, does just get out.
Good prediction from Destiny, just very close to stopping the recall. Fantix in the mid lane. First item, Negatron Cloak against Cassiopeia.
He's going for Wit's End, Fish.
I thought that builds out of Null Magic
Does
Mental.
Not. Builds out of the Negatron Cloak, as well as a long bow, a recurve bow, as well as another dagger. It's a very expensive item, deceptively expensive. As far as Wit's End goes, it used to be much cheaper. Ooh, Swiffer might die here.
Some trouble. Does have Flash and Heal available. Schönfire's level 4.
Schön would now think that he has to be on a ward, even though he's not.
Tries to tag up Spook as well, but nothing to auto-attack to connect the Q.
So you would say a much more even game out of Spooks than Schön this time around. Yep. We've already mentioned the fact that Fantix is doing quite well in the mid lane. Bottom lane heavily in favor of the Direwolves, however.
Neither of these junglers are big proponents of the Javan jungle. That's become very popular internationally.
Yeah, strangely enough, Spooks and Schön were actually 2 of the first people I saw play it, Fish. But then they've just put it in the back pocket for some reason.
Big move from Swiper there, able to avoid the hook shot off the wall.
He would be happy with that one. It's not often Big Swips gets to outplay people.
Uh-oh. Bottom lane, Schönfire is coming in. 3 on 3. Destiny the first target. Raze getting good damage into it. And Ejim has a stun passive, gets it onto King. He will fall for this one. Now a 2 on 2 with both supports dead. It will be the Chiefs that are forced to back off.
And Ejim just needs to stop trying to take more than what's on the table. You can see that Destiny lived for a very long time. If he had just focused on Destiny, it would have been much better. Schön now goes aggressive.
Low? You have to remember Zach heals up a lot when he's low on health, thanks to his
That probably
passive.
just secured him a red buff, Fish. Ejim can walk over there and try and stop it if he wants. Schön doesn't get greedy. Instead, maybe we'll look towards mid lane in a gank.
This is why Zach's so strong. Once he gets his first recall, he can't be pushed out of the jungle very easy, whereas Spooks, every time he gets low, he has to go back to base, get some health back.
Ejim and Destiny have both converged in this mid lane. If Ejim goes for this, it's probably going to be his death.
He does get spotted out, so he knows there was a ward there. Ejim goes in. They try to lock down Fantasy, but look at him go. Just turns around and delivers. Swiffer whiffs his ultimate. He's getting locked down by Shern. So much damage coming out from the Zac, almost single-handedly killing the Snake.
I mean, he still has double summoner spells available.
Well, look at Phoenix go. A little void puppy.
That's actually really good for the Chiefs because King rotated up. They didn't use any summoner spells there, and they still were able to get out scot-free. I thought for sure that was going to be a kill because it was a 3v4 fish. Instead, does not happen. Spooks looks for Shern, does not find him. Needs to be patient here because Shern is coming around the corner. If Spooks hits it, he's going to know, and he's not patient at all.
Level 6 on Shern Fire, though, so has the ultimate there, locked down.
Once
Smites,
again,
red buff, smacks
Swiffer
Spooks
is
back
in
into
base.
it.
Why are you invading Spooks when your mid laner is in base and you're going to die again?
And he's stuck. He's got nothing. Chippy's locks him down with the Hextech Ultimatum. That's 2 games in a row. Spooks has made the exact same mistake.
Exactly right. And I mean, it's just going to be so hard now for Swiffer to get a look in that lane. What was completely even has now been swung massively in Fantic's favor. And you can see that that gold lead, I mean, Swiffer was doing a great job. And Cassiopeia also scales very well into the late game fish. No one quite scales like Cogmore. But Spooks is just given over a free kill for no reason.
Yeah, very poor performance coming out from the Chiefs jungler. Swiffer is down in this mid lane, but you kind of expect it as much as Cogmore is an unorthodox pick. It does well in the Cassiopeia, and Fantics has shown exactly why. You can match the sustained damage that the Snake Lady dishes out. Meanwhile, bottom lane, there's not even an advantage for Raze here. He is behind slightly.
I mean, there shouldn't be an advantage for Raze, mate. We said he's hard counted. So that one is the expected one.
But that's what the difference from last game was. They had a big advantage in the bottom lane, whereas now, there's nowhere that's going in favor of the Chiefs. Swiffer's about to get ganked again by Shernfire. And this is why the Cogmore does so well. You can't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, Swiffer does put a lot of hurt into him there. You can see that Fantic's just kind of stands and delivers. And now with this, they're going to look to dive bottom lane potentially. Swiper has just used TP. They need to get out of dodge.
And Power Q misses from Destiny, though, which means Ejim can get out of there.
Spooks was also down there. So funnily enough, they retreated a little bit quicker than I would have thought, potentially, Fish.
I still think that's very scary when the gank that's coming down into the bottom lane is a Cogmore rocking up into the lane.
See whether they go now. Spooks has been spotted by the ward.
Level 6 though, forces, throws out the ultimate, does not lock down King.
That was a breath away. That was one of those times that King holding his flash makes him look like a genius and could have made him look very, very sheepish there, Fish. That will, however, lead to a dragon pickup.
And Chiefs rotate their mid laner towards top side of that. Swiper, he's been doing okay up here, but not bullying Chippies at the moment.
However, I like when top laners do this. Swiffer disappears into Fog of War. You know, could be doing his blue buff, but was going top lane. And you can see that Chippies, he just says, you know what? We're getting Dragon, we're getting advantages elsewhere. I'm going to back off the turret. As soon as he sees Swiffer back mid, he says, okay, I can approach now. I'm absolutely fine. That's very nicely played out of Chippies in the top lane, showing why he's one of the best top laners.
This is why we sing the praises of Chippies all the time, because he's just all-round good. We've seen him play multiple champions, split push, team fight, carry-oriented, no problem. Play safe when he has to, defensive when he needs to. And we've seen that from these 2 games. Very aggressive when he's on Jason ahead. Now Camille slightly behind, playing it passive, let the rest of the map do its job. This lane is really the focus so far. Everyone is trying to get down into the bottom lane, get either Raze or King ahead. You'd have to think Xayah has a much better mid-game than the Caitlyn does.
I would even argue that late game she probably has a better time now as well. Because I don't know whether King is going to be able to overcome the nerfs that we put into Caitlyn's kit. I don't think that's the 80 carry that the Chiefs will be worried about, however, Fishery. I think the 80 carry that they would be focusing on is the mid lane guy. It's already at wit's end as well as a couple of daggers.
A dive is coming in top side of the map though. Chippy has to be careful. Already used his hook shot, so that's the escape gone. Swiper, however, misses the pummel.
Yep.
And can't lock him down, so Spooks will back out. Spotted out by a ward as well. Good damage on this top lane outer though, coming out from Big Swips.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, if they can get the first turret, especially against Caitlyn lane, that would be very good.
King now getting locked down by Ejim. Destiny turns around, throws an empowered Q at him. Ejim very low, has to be careful, but Raze turns on the rapid fire, locking down Caitlyn, forcing a heal out of the Direwolves as well. Still has his own ultimate available if he needs to use it. Ejim, oh! The wanted bullet comes out, threads the needle and picks up a kill bottom lane.
Certainly does. They had heal, they had flash, they had absolutely everything available, but they still cannot stop Kings from punishing Ejim there. The Chiefs were taking greedy trades, Fish. Now have Spooks down here. This could potentially be a kill.
Ooh, Destiny's so close to picking that one up as well. If that empowered Q'd hit, you'd have to think Raze was going to die. But still, what a big play from King. You know, forced Raze back, knew that if he ulted Ejim, he had to get either the heal or the Alistar ultimate, and decided to burn neither. The Chiefs look like they're honestly falling apart in this series.
Yeah, they do. 2 kills to 5 right now. Not having a good start to it. You can see they've also gone for the ult there.
Lockdown Ejim. He does have his ultimate available here. The cowbells are ticking, looking for a stun. Swiffer shows up, does get the stun on towards Fantix, throws the Twin Fangs at him, but that doesn't deal too much damage to a Wits End Cogmore.
Certainly does not. Would be interested to see whether Swiffer also goes towards something a little bit more magically declined defense. Missed again, Fish. He's dead, maybe. No, he's all right. What I mean by that is the fact that Cogmore does so much AP damage. You know, Abyssal Mask could certainly be a good hybrid offensive-defensive item. They want to invade Shern again. This time, they're bringing the whole team, however.
Spooks finally goes for an invade where he has priority topside, support behind him, and even mid lane. But Shenfire still gets his red buff. Good wards coming out from the Direwolves jungler. However, Big Switz has done his job. He gets first turret top start of the map, and gold is now relatively even between the two teams.
And finally, for the first time, this was where they wanted to go for the play top lane, but they knew that Swiper had forced Chippies to go defend his jungler, and instead of forcing the play, Fish, they just backed away, which was the right call all along. And the Chiefs actually get back within 1,000 gold. So even though it looks like they're playing some pretty shocking League of Legends right now, they are still within touching distance of this comp. They just need to be careful that Fantix doesn't get any further ahead.
He's about to go back to base. He's got 1,300 gold in his back pocket. I never thought I'd see today where Cogmore mid is actually a big pick. King, though, getting locked down, flashes away from Spook's ultimate, and Shenfire jumps in. King is okay, being zoned out by Ejim. Is it going to be enough? Swiper's coming down. Spooks is going to be the first casualty here, it seems. Gets a big shield, not enough. Chippies lives. Swiper's trying to chase, but he can't get the boomerangs down. Direwolves get a pick, and they back off.
Yeah, exactly right. But this was the first time that we really saw the teams clash 5v5. And it was a very close thing still. You can see heal was burnt from Raze. Not really any other summoner spells apart from Ejim's flash. His ultimate was just not available, Fish.
Hats off to King, though. We criticized him during MSI, during the entire split, about holding on to his summoners. We've seen 2 cases where he's held onto it, it's paid off, and rightfully so. Now, right there, flashing, getting away, running away from the team fight to stay safe, pays off as well.
And look at how easily Fantix is just farming these lanes. He's just hoovering them, although, oh, that's a big deal, because he burned his whole mana pool, clearing that creep wave, and then unfortunately, Shern just got his blue buff with the red buff passive. So
animal instincts kicking in.
No, it wasn't an animal instinct, mate. It was just a little bit of a blue buff, red buff mix-up. However, that does mean that he has to base, which gives Swiffer a little bit of time on the map. See whether he can make it work.
He's gone for the Abyssal Mask pickup very early.
Yeah, I like it. As I said, Cogmore does a deceptive amount of magic damage this stage of the game. Probably all stages of the game as they go again bottom lane.
Very aggressive Ignite is ticking. King doesn't have flash anymore, still has heal. Ejim looking for the damage, but can't get enough done. Shenfire now looking to come in.
They're going again, Fish.
He jumps in. Ejim very low. Raze, what were you doing right there, buddy? That's not enough to take down anyone. Spooks will collapse as well, but there's very little damage left remaining on the Chiefs.
Certainly is, and one more time, they don't go aggressive. They don't get the King kill, and Ejim falls down again. He's starting to get a little bit annoyed. You can see in his player cam, he's shaking his head. Out of 7 kills right now, he has 4 of them. Spooks has 3. They're getting destroyed right now, the utility players of the Chiefs.
Swiper, though, doing his best. I will not lose impersonation as he is trying to take down top lane in a turret.
30 CS up.
Oof. He's having a massive game against Chippies. Respect to Chippies, though. He's been playing this one safe. Nothing has been given to him. No one has come top lane, whereas Spooks, Swiffer, Egypt have all been top side of the map. He just wants to sit back, farm. Once he gets his second item, should be fine. Meanwhile, a turret and a dragon have been picked up here by the Direwolves.
And this is what I said was the problem, is the fact that even though Swiper was starting to do well, it's just in CS, whereas you got 3 kills on a Caitlyn at the moment, and she still picks up the turret. Such a huge play. Chiefs will try and answer with the Rift Herald, but they lose so much tempo going for it. You can see top lane wave is already prepped if they want to send the Caitlyn up there.
Chiefs again take priority over Rift Herald, so they pick this up for themselves. If they can use that to take a turret, the gold again would become relatively even. You'd have to think, with an Alistar in comparison to a Karma support, this could be good for the Chiefs.
You would say that until Ardent Sensor is kind of an item.
But he hasn't rushed it.
Yeah, but he's still going to get it. He's still going to get it, mate.
Eventually.
It's coming.
And I mean, he's got...
Just right around the corner. The reason he went Sightstone is because they just fought so much during the laning phase.
He's got a Caitlyn and a Kog'Maw, so when that Ardent Sensor comes online, even a Camille, ooh, there's going to be a lot of value from that pickup.
Yeah, Camille will love it. Camille probably going to like it more than the others because of all the auto attack resets.
Spicy. So if we're still staying in this mid lane, trying to hold the wave off the turret.
Hard to siege into Cassio at this stage of the game because of exactly that. One poison, Twin Fang gone. We'll be interested to see whether the Dire will stick at trying to siege mid, especially given the fact that they don't have Rift Herald. Instead, it's Swiffle looking for top lane. Chippies needs to be a little bit careful here. He's fine.
Well, you are right. Most of the Chiefs are grouping up around top side of the map. They have Rift Herald to work with. Picked up by Egypt here. Collapsing on towards Chippies, locking him down. He's going to flash hook shot out. He might just get away, and he does!
Nothing can go right for the Chiefs Esports Club right now. Every time they think they have a kill, they live on the skin of their teeth. But Direwolves, in the micro interactions of this game, have well and truly got the Chiefs' number, Fish.
That must be so frustrating for Spooks and Swiffer there.
And finally, the swap has come in. They need to be careful here, however, Direwolves, because Chibi's just used his flash, and the Chiefs have Rift Herald tempo. So they don't win this. Even though 2 items have been completed for King, and he has the boots too, he will not push quicker than Ejim and Raze, purely on the fact that they have Rift Herald down there.
Swiper is on Gnar too, so unless they send Schönfire and Fantix towards top side of the map, he can defend underneath the turret, but they do the right thing, calling Zac up to force Swiper away.
And the Chiefs do a very strange thing. They're going to recall. They're going to match the 2v2.
No, they say
cancel.
stay. Rift Herald's now being popped bottom side of the map.
That was a really weird way to do it. They just wasted so much time by recalling.
Teleport. Chippies wants to try and create tempo top side of the map.
I still don't think you can create the tempo, right? Can you create enough tempo to outrace a Rift Herald? That's a question. Maybe they do Baron.
Potentially. Scrying Orb used by the Chiefs.
They're
That's
gonna do
quite
Baron.
smart. And they started up. I will say, let's go for this. Spooks is bottom lane. So is Raze. It's going to be so difficult for the Chiefs to get here. Big play being made by the Wolfpack. Let's see if it works out. Half health. No one's there to collapse just yet.
This
Swiffer,
is such
though,
a bad play.
going in. Can he get the penetrating gaze? He does. Good damage delivered to the back line. Spooks jumps in. Look at Big Swift. He's already taken down Fantix. However, Chippies gets the return kill. Baron picked up by the Direwolves. Chiefs are trying to fight this one back. Big Swift will not lose today. He's already got on a double. Raze is trying to chase them down, but the Direwolves still got the Baron.
They get Baron, but that was just... that was such a confusing play coming out of Direwolves. If they turned around and just fought as 5, they would have been able to clean up their fish. They were stronger, they had the items, and Raze was nowhere near the team fight. Instead, they committed to it. They lose 2 turrets, potentially a 3rd here, as well as a couple of big gold advantages.
No flash used by Swiffer in that fight. Heal still up as well. Egypt now in trouble. What the heck are you doing over there?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to fall down. They just keep overextending, and Raze might fall as well.
He throws out the ultimate for good measure as well.
So now it turns into a good play, because all of a sudden they're 5v4 on the map. They're going to be able to push down mid.
They've got a gold lead as well. Smirks trying to desperately defend this mid lane outer turret. Schönfire trying to lock him down. King's going to show up with Fantix. King, 2.5 items. Fantix at 2 complete items.
Yep.
Mid lane out of falls. Nice and easy for the Direwolves. Schönfire still looking to force.
Really nicely done, and they're onto Swiffer as well. You can see that Ardent Sensor still not picked up.
But Knight's Vow is, they're giving it over towards Fantix. And they're still sieging. Swiper is here. 2 kills. Double health stacking items complete. And that's a bowler from downtown trying to lock down Fancies. He cleanses out of it. Mega available for Swiper, deciding not to go in. Schönfire is below half health, but no ultimate from the Sejuani makes it hard for the Chiefs to initiate.
Yeah, it certainly does. And you can see no one can get in range of that turret to really take it down. So time and time again, it's taking shots at the turret. And the Chiefs are starting to fall a little bit lower, Fish. This is the same point as game number 1.
And Schönfire, he's back up to about half health after healing off from the Wolf Camp. Next turret falls, Direwolves do back off, disengage, and reset the map.
And you can see that they're just so confident in their play. They know when they can push. They know when they have to pull back. What was such a risky Baron call. Let's see it one more time. I thought here, with double summoner spells available, Swiffer was going to torch them, but he gets knocked up, gets delivered into the back of the team, and then just gets blown up. Doesn't use flash, doesn't use heal. Could have been crucial, and you can see Xayah still isn't there. So they're still fighting this 4v5. Nearly picks up Shern on the back end, doesn't get the stun, so they stop chasing. And then because they stuck around for the mid lane turret, everything went wrong.
Swiffer had 2 opportunities to flash heal, 1 away from the Zakol, 1 to get behind the Baron Pit wall.
Couldn't
Stayed
get over
relatively
the wall.
healthy.
Hextech ultimatum was kind of still there.
But doesn't work out for them. And Chiefs now 5,000 gold behind the Direwolves.
And you can see that Caitlyn is a full item up. So this is the part of the game where the nerf doesn't really matter. I mean, say what you will, she lost a Phantom Dancer. If you're an attack speed item up, Fish, you didn't lose anything.
Nope, and Ardent Sensor picked up as well. Makes Caitlyn even stronger at this point.
You can see Shern also finish the Knight's Vow, going towards what is a Spectre's Cowl, maybe something like an Adaptive Helm. Spooks hasn't even finished the Knight's Vow. Across the board, the Chiefs are just so far behind.
The Direwolves are so decisive with how they're playing this game. The Chiefs look confused onto how they're going to try and attack this one. A Powered Shield comes out from Destiny.
Ardent Sensor onto everyone. You can see Swiper is still split pushing. Has TP available, but in Mega Gnar isn't going to be all that much of a threat because he'll fall back to Mini.
He needs resistances now because second item's going to be picked up by Chippy soon. Totanic Hydra is what he's going for. So he wants to be in these team fights, Spawn.
Yeah, certainly does. I mean, why would you not? When you have the Karma to make you stronger, when you have Zac that's going to be diving the backline with you, it's so easy to go with them. Chiefs trying to get a cheeky turret against the flow.
Ooh.
Don't even get it.
Very close. Good hold from the Direwolves.
And Direwolves are just outpacing the Chiefs. That's what it looked like. The Chiefs think they have a play in mind. Direwolves one step ahead. Chiefs want to force here. Direwolves already have the answering play. They haven't set everyone back to base. And just when you think the Chiefs are going to have that play that busts the game open, you know, oh, they've gone towards Baron. We can do this. Shern secures Smite. They still get a pretty even trade. And the Direwolves across the board today just look so switched on.
Confident coming into the grand finals. Confident they finished as the minor premiers of Split 2. And they're backing it up, Spawn, with the first 2 games they played against the Chiefs today. The Chiefs have been fighting back. They just haven't found the opportunity to get close. They're now 6,500 gold behind the Direwolves. And they execute on these plays so well, the Direwolves. You give them an inch, they take a mile.
And once again, I don't know if the Chiefs outscale. So you can say take it late, make the team fights really count if you're a Chiefs member. But realistically, Fish, double 80 carry plus Ardent Sensor is going to be something that is very hard to out-team fight, especially with Hextech Ultimatum. Spook's caught out again.
Shen takes some damage. We've already seen he doesn't care when he takes damage, because as soon as a monster or minion is close by, he heals up quite nicely. Ejim in a threatening position, though.
Yeah, and they're looking to collapse onto Swiffer. Swiper is definitely Mini here. So not really an easy team fight to look for if you are the Chiefs.
He's going to try and rage up now, get close to going Mega. There's the initiation. Ejim goes in nice and early, locking down Fantix. Cleansed out of that one, shown into the back lines. Pops the ultimate, doesn't connect. However, King has taken down Ejim. Schönfire is very low, but it's a 1-0 in favor of the Direwolves once again.
And that's what the big thing is, right? Shern's low, sure, but Ejim's dead. So the Chiefs, again, after burning everything, can't get their way into this fight. Although Spooks and Swiper still
He's
have
gone
ult.
in. No cleanse available for
Big
Fantix.
Nah.
Big Nah locks down King as well. The Chiefs pull on in. Big Swift will not lose, and they get 3 kills in that team fight.
Just don't give him an R. That is what we've learned this whole gauntlet. Do not give Swipe an R, because one more time the Chiefs burst in with a team fight. They had gotten the cleanse out of Fantix, and a decisive call from the Chiefs. Probably shouldn't have worked, but Swiper gets all 3 of them, Fish.
Perfect timing for Spooks as well. King still had Flash, still had QSS, but instead he goes for Fantix to kick things off.
And let's have a look at this. So he nails him, Flash, ulti, and then King thinks he's safe. But nah, 3 members into the wall. He actually uses QSS and dies instantly, so can't even move anywhere. The damage was really what it was. And now, with 3 members still in base, the Chiefs honestly can just go in and take this Baron away.
Raze has started up. He's in vision. So Direwolves know that this has been started.
They're racing towards it. They're going to teleport as well. I don't know if the Chiefs can do this.
Oh, Ejim knocks Schönfire
That
back
might
over
be
the
enough
wall.
time.
It could be enough time to deny him getting into the pit. Does have Flash available. Walking over, scrying on. He's going to go for the spike contest. He gets it! Schönfire has stolen Baron away from the Chiefs. He brings Spooks into the team as well. What a disaster!
He is higher level. He had the extra range there, but Spooks smited too early, it looked like. It looks like Spooks left the Baron on about 60 HP, and Schön has absolutely just started on the Chiefs jungler. Now with 2 members dead, 5 members left available for the Direwolves. They're just going to look to push it down mid and win game number 2.
One mistake and the Direwolves punished so heavily. I have never seen a team this dominant when it comes to dealing with mistakes made by the opposition. They march down mid lane. Mid lane inhibitor turret is going to fall. Chippies is zoning away both Swiper and Swiffer. Ejim wants to collapse here, but they watch helplessly as their base gets dismantled by the Wolfpack.
Yeah, and that inhibitor fell, guys. Don't let the visual bug fool you. That is no longer an inhibitor. So mid lane of the Chiefs has been broken. And what should have been the Chiefs battling their way back into this game, Fish, is now the Chiefs trying to figure out where the heck do we go, 7,000 gold down. This play from Ejim, as he was winding up, to send him back over the wall.
Wow. He had next to no
Gave them
time
so
to react.
much time. And I wonder if Swiffer, he had vision of him. Didn't throw the miasma over the wall. Instead just used all of his damage to try and win out on the team fight. And Schön's smite is just on point.
Spooks as well way too early with his own smite. It was left in about 300 health. Nowhere close for the rest of the team to secure it, and enough for Schönfire to jump in and just swoop it. Nice and easy. As much as I'd like to say, you know, Schön made a big play. He did, stole the Baron, but that was a huge mistake from Spooks.
Yeah, it certainly was. Have to go back, you know, Spooks is lower level, so the pressure's always on him.
Of course.
Xayah, very hard to smite with. People have said this about Xayah and Kalista. They give you secure, but they also give you an unknown amount of damage that's going to pass back through Baron. But they still are able to get the steal, and that's what really counts. Schönfire, the better man today, it looks like, has been running circles around Spooks.
So we've already seen the Chiefs put up 2 really good last stands where they forced fights against the Direwolves when they're this far down. They need to do it again here. We know they're a team that will try for that. They won't let their base fall apart.
They need more than 2 of those, Fish. They need multiple defenses if they're going to make this one work.
Let's see if they can kick it off with a good defense to start already.
Spooks must have some gold for an item, because you can see has gone back to base. Actually doesn't.
Great use of the traps by King, separating one side completely and then slightly on the other. Whew! Half health.
You done
Have fun with that,
Ejim. And he's already so low. You can see that they're trying to use Fantix ult to break all the passive. He just runs forward.
Oh goodness, Swiffer and Spooks take so much damage from Fantix. What do you do against this Cogmore?
I mean, you can already see Fantix is just way too strong. Gets the Ardent Sensor, sprints forward, and now Swiper's like, I need to clear out this wave. But with 2 parts of the base already broken and Baron buff still available, this might be the impossible task.
Oh, he's going to give Baron buff to all the ranged minions as well, dealing extra damage to these turrets.
Swiper's exhausted. He can't go in right now.
King steps up. Swiper is looking to try and get some more of his rage back. Super minions being dragged towards this turret as well, making it even harder for the Chiefs to defend. Ejim stepping on more traps, takes even more damage. Thankfully, not a crit that time round for him. Mega is coming up for Swiper, but Raze is not there.
Razor's bottom lane trying to clear out the creeps. However, if the Chiefs go, it must be soon because you can see the Direwolves are starting to slowly close in on this sleeper hold and really start putting the pressure on the Chiefs.
Ejim can't keep taking this poke. Makes it harder for him to go in. You can see he's posturing for it. Waiting. Goes in now. Locks down Fantix. Pops his own ultimate. Big 9 to backlies. Big petrifying gaze as well. Direwolves are trying to cut this
Fantix
one out. Is it going to be enough? Raze gets Fantix. Will take down 2 for his troubles. Running away from the Acathia surprise. Lives through it. And look at Big Swift. He's killed King. Swift was pushing forward. What a team fight from the Chiefs. They're still going for more.
What is going on, Fish? Every single time they line up, Swiper just gets them all. 4-1 and 4. The member of the Chiefs that is trying his hardest to keep them in this game. But the Direwolves line up again. They just needed to be patient. Needed the super creeps to come in. But you can see they all line up. That's a 4-member now, 4-member Wallop. The Cassiopeia ult over the top. The Direwolves still kite back. Look how beautifully they play it. But they get rooted up. And then Swiper again. Key CC onto King. Jumps on him. Able to get so much damage out. That's the shutdown. And that's the Chiefs winning the team fight. But it is just so close for the Direwolves ending this game. A 2-0, especially when the Chiefs are starting to win team fights. If Direwolves now close the game out, put the nail in the coffin, how do you come back from this? Because the Direwolves, I mean, they're still making mistakes, but the Chiefs just cannot capitalize.
My goodness, there's still a 7,000 goal lead for the Direwolves, but after that team fight, you wouldn't even think it's that close. However, now, no summoner spells available for anyone on the Chiefs lineup. Direwolves still have flash on Chippies, but that's about it. However, it's harder for Ejim to go in for these engages, harder for Swiper to get the big Nara ultimates down without flash.
It's also easy to hit him without flash as well. I mean, when no one has summoner spells, Fish, the game becomes a real coin toss. And the other big thing for me is the fact that, you know, Adaptive Helm picked up for Chippies means that Swiper might be able to take him in the 1v1. Raze definitely cannot and needs to be careful.
He wants this red
Chippies.
buff. Chippies is looking to try and kill him outright. Rips the feathers out, will take it down. Chippies playing a bit more passive, not risking his life in that play.
With the flash up and with everything being down on everyone else.
However, massive wave bottom side of the map. That is the only inhibitor that's currently down. Mid lane has respawned.
Bottom lane about to respawn as well, Fish.
And
just
Baron.
in time for Baron.
44 seconds till that's available. Swiper does have teleport, but with Gnar split pushing, you have to monitor your rage really carefully, and that's almost impossible when you're dealing with super minions.
Certainly is. However, do you know what Baron has? A big wall on the backside of it.
Ooh.
No flashes available for the Direwolves. I honestly think the right play for Direwolves right now is to wait for your flashes and your cleanse to come back available. Because Fantix has already shown he is good enough on this Cogmore to be able to carry. If you give him some area to position, going now for the Frozen Mallet as well.
Ooh.
The Force, 8 seconds until Baron, no Spooks ultimate.
And that's been a big part of these team fights as well, blowing either the cleanse or at least following up once Fantix or Kings uses theirs. However, Fantix, he's at his 3-item power spike. King is complete build.
Whoa! Here's 2. Here we go.
They're going for a big fight. Shern taking a lot of damage. Feathers get ripped out and locks him down. The front line for the Wolfpack is like,
oh my
Raze!
goodness!
That is scary. That is a lot of your health gone. He needs to go heal.
Certainly does. He doesn't have any lifesteal, Fish. He's only got himself that Warlord, and they rip through this so quickly.
Raze has got him back up above half health, but the Direwolves are pushing for this Baron. Shern is low.
And they can ride that big top wave in. You can see Raze still taking damage, and Direwolves have the inside track.
Oh, Swiffer takes a crit to the face. Both carries to the Chiefs are getting knocked out of these fights before they start. What a big map rotation coming out from the Direwolves. They are pincering the Chiefs, and they look stunned. They don't know where to go.
Yeah, exactly right. You can see they're trying to corral them, trying to go for that team fight. Super Creeps already on their Nexus turrets, but Direwolves, they take the inhibitor. Now they can just go back to Baron, and the Chiefs don't have an answer for it, Fish.
They're losing Nexus turrets here. The Chiefs, mid lane inhibitor is the only inhibitor left standing. Direwolves move back towards Baron. Shernfire is healing back up. All the poke they did has done for nothing. Elder Dragon's available as well. The Chiefs can't decide what they're meant to do here.
No, they saw that the Direwolves were recalling. So as soon as the Direwolves started recalling, the Chiefs started heading towards the base. Chiefs started heading towards their recalls. Now they are looking to trade Elder Drake for Baron buff.
Ooh.
Because they know that they're going to fight near their base. And they think that maybe, just maybe with some burn damage, they could take this one However, such a big risk when you only have one Nexus turret available.
Their flashes are coming back up, and Elder Dragon helps them out much more in fights. But with the base, no inhibitor turrets down, Direwolves can play it passive. They can split, they can wait, and march minions into the base first.
And the other thing is there's not going to be any turrets helping the Chiefs. There's not going to be all that many walls within the base for Swiper to hit the big Gnar into. All of a sudden, it becomes very difficult if you are the Chiefs to win a team fight, because they're going to have access through these barrened up creeps walking towards your inhibitors, Fish.
Swiper trying to do what he can to defend against the Baron buff minions pushing bottom lane. No super minions down on the bottom side. Only top lane's been broken. It will take a bit more time before that pushes in towards the Chiefs space. Direwolves are setting up for mid lane though.
I actually think Direwolves are doing something really smart here. Baron lasts longer than Elder Drake.
Yep.
Just let him punch himself out. Do the Floyd Mayweather. Just start dancing around a little bit. Make him get tired. I mean, you can see the Chiefs, they must be frustrated already. 0-8 for Egypt.
Hello, Raze.
What was that?
That was stepping on a trap and getting headshot by King.
Don't do that again, Raze. You'll die. Still does a lot of damage to Spooks as well.
Very scary.
Raze also completed build now, however, Fish. There's no lifesteal in it.
Yeah, it's relying purely on Warlords.
Which is risky. If you're that low...
He does have more of Malmortius, so if he gets incredibly low, he gets a ton of lifesteal, but I don't think you really want to be that low in against this Direwolves team comp, because Fantix and King will shred through the 80 carries.
And you can see they see Swiper Mega, they back away, and that's going to be another inhibitor going down. The Chiefs, you have to defend sooner or later.
Elder Dragon's going to run out. They need to go now if they want to make use of that buff.
Yeah, certainly do. And you can see Ejim, he's starting to dance around. Elder Drake is maybe a fifth left.
Ejim,
Last inhibitor going to fall in just a second, Fish.
And look at Chippies. He doesn't care. He's just split pushing.
I mean, that's the right call. If you're the Camille, if no one can go with you, if there's two inhibitors already down, then you can just go for it.
Oh, flash engagement. Ejim forces the flash out of King. Ultimate for Spooks does not connect. Surefire jumps back, trying to peel for his carries, but look at Fantix go. Big petrifying gaze for Swiffer. Not enough. Ejim's low. Gnar in the back line to a Swiper, but he can't get the perfect ultimate he desperately needed. Raze turns around, trying to get on top of Fantix. Flushes away from Surefire, but the Direwolves collapse. They ace the Chiefs. They're going to take game 2 as they march towards the Nexus here. What a fantastic performance. 2 games back to back. They're at match point. They want to go to Worlds and they can taste it. They are so close.
They certainly are, Fish. They certainly are. This is a team that looks so composed in this grand final. Every single hit the Chiefs have, the Direwolves just answer. And because of these massive early game leads, the Direwolves cannot be stopped. And the Chiefs, they tried to fight back that game. They had some good team fights, but the Direwolves have every answer at the moment.
And again, Spooks having a shocker of a series so far. 2 games in a row. Even when he's not trying to go aggressive against Schernfire, somehow he's making these mistakes still.
No, once again, he ran into his jungle and died. He's trying to go aggressive against Schernfire. Once again, Swiffer was in base. He's just off on his invade timings. And that means Schern is getting through these early games. Swiper, what an Gnar performance. I mean, I don't think he will get it again, but it just wasn't enough because bottom lane was already a disaster. Ejim was 0-9 in that game, I think. Jungle was a disaster, 1-5 or 1-6 for Spooks. And when you have 2 players that unfortunately are getting monstered by their opposition, the game is very hard to win.
Raze is trying his hardest as well. You can see the perfect player. Still putting on good team fights, falling slightly behind in lane. Swiffer as well must be stunned. His signature Cassiopeia pick shut down by a mid lane Cogmore.
Yeah.
Couldn't do anything.
And as I said, he's played it before. This is not like it was blind. Jish said they called it, that they thought that was going to be the flex, that they were going to put it mid lane, but they just didn't have a good enough answer for it, Fish. And I mean, this series is just coming down to the individual players of the Direwolves are so on point. They are so mechanically gifted that as soon as they get an advantage, they just run all over the map.
And we've said every single time the Chiefs have played against the Direwolves this split, it's been back and forth. Every single game going one way or the other. Yes, they've been fairly close, but Direwolves definitely very dominant in the last 2 games they've played. To break it down a little bit further, let's send it back to the analyst desk.
Thanks very much. The Direwolves up now 2-0 in that series. Before we get into our analysis of that game, though, let's hear from Sarianne about the next competition.
Thanks, Hingers. For every game played in the grand final, Riot is offering you a chance to win a Lenovo gaming laptop. I'll give you a question and you'll need to tag your prediction with the OPL win hashtag on Twitter or Facebook. If you're using Facebook, make sure to set your post to public. Tell us what the total damage dealt to champions will be for the grand final game number 3 between Direwolves and the Chiefs. You have until the end of Champion Select for game 3 to tag your prediction with the OPL win hashtag. For full terms and conditions, head to oce.lolesports.com.
Another competition there for game 3, and if it goes to 5 games, there will be 2 more, but after the Direwolves...
Oh, really?
Yeah, there'll be 2 more, yeah. But if the Direwolves closes out and go 3-0 over the Chiefs...
Everyone's going for a Chiefs win.
So obviously, if you've not won a laptop yet, obviously you should be prolonging this series and cheering for a Chiefs victory. But let's talk about this game, because, again, a dominant performance out of Direwolves. So give me your initial thoughts, Juju's.
Yeah, I think everyone forgot that, like, I mean, Direwolves didn't play in Gauntlet.
Yeah.
So, like, we haven't seen Direwolves in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And we've seen Chiefs 6-0, you and me, and now they play today.
I played in it.
And, I did not play in it. But, I mean, like, Direwolves have definitely, like, prepared with the Cogmore pick, so I'm nervous for the Chiefs.
One thing I have to get off my chest is that is probably the single... The most, I don't know, the single best, whatever you want to call it, top lane performance I've ever seen from, like, a player in O's, like, on a champion. I just want to say, like, Swiper's nah. That game, like...
What are we calling that?
Like,
what are you doing?
I actually just felt like...
I agree. I completely agree.
Like I got so excited watching that.
Yeah.
That fired me up so much.
Yeah.
I was screaming. I was like, that was insane. But the series as a whole was actually a good series too. There was there's bits of macro play that were really good, bits of micro play that was exceptionally good. But I guess one example that I want to focus on is Direwolves evolving macro play. So we've often spoken about them being a laning phase team, but this was a perfect example of them evolving as a team. So Chiefs dropped the Rift Herald bot, and any other team's reaction would be like, oh, we've got to go match that. But instead, I guess they had the nerves and they had the confidence to pull the trigger on Baron. Shern had confidence in his smite, and they did lose a few members. I think they lost 2 members here total, but they kept 3 Barons. And any day of the week, that's worth it. That is definitely worth it. But I just think that was important to highlight that specific play because most teams, as I said, would go back and try and match that Rift Herald push. We can't do anything. They've got Rift Herald. Let's base. Instead, Direwolves, heads up. What can we do? How can we have a Cogmore. We have Baron Shredders. So let's do Baron.
Yeah. I mean, it was great macro coming from both sides. Like, we always critique Direwolves for not being a macro team. But, I mean, just that situation in itself, when you look at it, I think we all thought it was disastrous.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the Casio into the Naro, the Sejuani. I mean, just for them to keep their cool, for Shernfire to hit the smite, it's actually very impressive.
That kind of goes, like, on two ends of, like, the spectrum. Is, like, Direwolves can literally throw the game there.
Like if they lose those, not only the bot tower, but they also lose mid tower.
Or the Baron.
Yeah, or the Baron. Yeah.
That game's not over, but you've pretty much
swings the game.
Yeah.
You completely sacrifice your lead you've built up in the early game.
Yeah, but like
risk versus reward, I guess.
I think Chiefs, like again, like same as game 1. I think Chiefs did really well to sort of still maintain in the game. And like as you said, like Swiper's performance was incredible.
Absolutely.
And I just want to talk about like the synergy between these Chiefs members. You can just see like Casio. I mean, we've already seen Alistar fall down, but Spook's engaging into the Naro, a 3-man Naro. Like this is the first team fight we see Chiefs really get back into the game, and they get a clean 3-0, and it just shows how coordinated and like this team has the potential to win this series, but like they're just having rough early games.
That was like a prime example of like confidence within your teammates.
Definitely.
So they took a 4v5.
4v5.
Like it was 4v5. They're down gold, and they've just pulled that engage out. Like so. I think what Chiefs have to focus on is like, yeah, as you said, like just getting to an even mid game. Because as you can see from their mid game, it's actually incredible. Like that to have that synergy in such a high pressure situation and to execute that well was
like
props.
Like we were saying, like we've both been in like intense games. I mean, I've been in grand finals. Yeah. He's been Gauntlet. But like
subtle shade.
These teams, like it is really hard being on stage and when you're behind and to make a play like that, it is not easy.
I did beat you in your last competitive game.
All right, that's not about that. Let's move on. Talk more about the game before you guys take more shots at each other.
But like, I'll just echo it again because they did it again in the top lane. In the top lane, Swiper's again, it's just insane. Like, we can see the combo from Ejim, Swiper again, and Spooks again. Swiper comes in with just insane Gnar ults the entire game. And just look at this team fight. Like, you don't know what's going on. This is just high quality League of Legends coming out of
this fight.
OCEs. Yeah, you think they lose this team fight, but Swiffer on his Casio, like, really just pulls them back into this team fight. And, I mean, you don't actually know who was going to win that team fight. Like, I think they were like 15k gold down or something absurd, and they still managed to crawl back into it.
But that does mean that as they went out of that, though, we were like, wow, Swiper's like won in these 2 team fights. Maybe this is Chiefs coming back. And you look at those graphs there, and I'm actually surprised that Caitlyn did more damage than Cog. I feel like Cog was really doing heavy lifting.
Did you see those
but then
crits?
a couple of times when Caitlyn
crit,
when Ray's like stepped on a trap, and then Caitlyn, hit the headshot or whatever.
I think
and
we
just
got like 4 replays of that. He was like,
I love seeing that.
I'll see if he doesn't do as much.
I love seeing that old jungle roll relevant till 10-15 minutes when the support Karma does more damage than the Zac, by the way.
What a game by Schönfire again, though.
Yeah, and another great game from Schönfire.
Yeah, and I guess echoing another great game from Schönfire, I know a thing or two about smites.
Yes.
Myself.
Yes.
In case you haven't heard.
By the way.
That's on your resume.
And yeah, so I know a thing or two about smites, and Schön at the Baron, incredible. Just
Absolutely.
landing those smites.
Absolutely, because Chiefs are burning it down, and then Schön, I mean, well,
you can see here, this was the earlier Baron, right? And for me, this is actually the match winner. Like, this pretty much secures the game for Direwolves. If Chiefs get the Baron here, I think it's all over. The Camille can't deal with the Gnar, and I guess it was one of those ones where Spooks was expecting his team to burst the Baron. They didn't burst the Baron. Schönfire goes in, gets the outsmite.
But the thing is,
I think that wins them the game.
Did you see
the
Schön
caster
in
said,
that camera?
Yeah, he was
going
pretty
off.
hyped.
very excited.
He was going on.
I know that when I outsmited Levi, I just said, by the way.
But, I mean, the caster was saying, like, Swiffer still has the miasma to throw across the wall to stop Schön, but didn't
He was
do
under
it.
the impression they could burst it.
Yeah.
That's the call. Like, if the call's to burst it,
That's what you do.
yeah,
You have to do-
like
yeah.
Swiffer moving would like minimize, like would reduce his damage, I would say.
If we have time, just quickly, how Barons work for those of you that like at home that haven't really played competitive or within a team. Okay, for those of you that don't know, what happens is, you know at about 3 to 4k on the Baron health if you're going to finish it or not.
Yeah.
So if you're going to finish it, everybody's on the same page to be bursting that Baron until the smite comes through.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to slow down and let your jungler hit that smite.
Yeah.
And so what I think the call was finish the Baron. So you don't want to be burning your miasma. When you can continuously be getting that Casio Twin Fang poison. But in the same sense, if it's a disjointed call, that's when you often see teams hesitating, some people jumping over the wall to stop, some people trying to do damage to people over the wall, and that's when your Baron usually gets stolen. And I think that's what the comms were there. Like, it was like, let's finish.
You think it was disjointed?
Yeah, disjointed. It was like, let's finish Baron. But Ejim was also trying to stop Zac on the outside a bit too early. Like, it was like the right idea, but too early. And I think it was just too panicked. But usually, at home, teams establish a 3, 4, 5k mark where are we going to finish this or are we turning?
Yeah. Yes. And you do the maths on the damage that your team has.
Well, you try. Yeah. I mean, you try.
600 IQ, you should not struggle at all.
Look, I never said I struggled. All right? I mean, actually, I did against TM, but that's not the point. We're not talking about me. We're talking about what just happened.
And one of the things we just saw that happened was that Cogmore flex mid.
Yeah.
And Jish said he expected it, and Spawn said he'd seen it in solo queue.
I was talking to Choo-Choos about that, this mid lane matchup, and funnily enough, we versed this Cogmore a few times, and I was like to choose. This is slightly Cog favored. Cog can't win the lane. Cog can't solo kill him.
No, he doesn't.
But I go, Casio cannot bully Cog out. The range is too much. Cogmore's range is insane, and Wit's End as a first item for Cogmore is just insanely efficient.
Yeah.
And so when Cogmore gets that Wit's End, when Cog gets Wit's End, Casio is building mana items. Therefore, Casio has no damage.
Yeah.
And then the Cogmore already has magic resistance. So then, if you put 2 and 2 together, the Casio is just not going to be doing damage to the Cog in the 1v1.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know Swiffer, after losing game 1, would go to his Casio. They picked it first rotation. They picked both their solos first rotation. But you can see, Direwolves with 3 weeks off have prepared for this Casio.
Yeah.
And that Cogmore is definitely something that I think Chiefs need to acknowledge going into this third game.
Well, do you think then, by the same token, Direwolves need to acknowledge the big Gnar at a swiper? Because It's weird that it didn't come out in game 1. They saved it for game 2, and now going into game 3, it's likely to get banned.
I think they could use it as a trap. Because they do like the Lucian top.
Yeah.
And depending on how early you want to ban that Lucian top, you're not going to burn it in the first 3 bans. So if Chiefs do take Gnar early, that does leave open the Lucian counter pick, and that is not a fun time for the
thing is the Gnar is a collective effort.
Yeah.
Like I think like even though Spooks and Aegin, like Aegin was 0-9 by the end of that game or something. Yeah. But I think like they're just engaged collectively with Swiper's Gnar is so on point. It's so like refined that it's something that Dials. Well, I mean, the only team fights they lost is when they pulled off that combo.
Yeah.
So it's something that they will take. Well, I think they would recognize and maybe take away this game.
That's why I feel for the Chiefs, because they're probably the best team fighting team in the league, and I think that's fair to say after what we've seen today and what we've seen in the Gauntlet. It's just that they're not letting themselves get to a team fight. They're getting to a team fight when they're 1 man down, 4K down, 5K down, at Baron down. Just play. If I'm coaching or if I'm Gish right now, I'm telling Spooks, look, you're not playing that bad, but you're not playing that well. We need you to just solidify the early game, just lock up shop, make sure Shern can't do anything. We don't need you to invade. We don't need you to steal his buffs. Just get us to a mid game where we're even. And then I think Chiefs can actually win a game, and if not, the series.
Yeah.
You can see this being a reverse sweep. They just need to like settle down, like let this game play itself out,
So
and show your macro.
Let's just, before we go to this game, get some numbers out. So if we get to 20 minutes and Chiefs are what, 2K gold down, it's fine. 1K gold down, it's fine. Where do they need to be?
It's all dependent on composition,
Sure.
right? So like you can't be 2K down when you've got a Kalista bot lane because really you should be abusing the lane.
Yeah.
But in a game like that where you've got Xayah, you've got Gnar, you've got Cassio, like I don't mind being even at 20 minutes.
Yeah.
If you're 100 gold 1K down at 20 minutes, like I'll take that, and you can just take a ripper team fight. But as
a ripper team fight. That is a phrase you'll only hear at the OPL.
Yes. But like so the KDAs here from Shern is just insane. Like you can just see the work he's putting in.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you look at means in enemy jungle, like we're talking about Spooks invading a lot. Like he's taken one.
That's
because
he's died. As soon as
dies
he's entered, he's
early.
died.
That's my point. You didn't let me finish. I was going to say because he's like, yes, he's like, he's
getting
invading
fired up.
and
Sorry,
he's dying.
I'm getting fired up.
Yeah.
It's
but,
grand
like, I
final.
get you're the jungler, but like, let me, like, so this guy takes one enemy in the like. Oh, I can't even talk. He took one.
He
in
takes
the
one
opposing
enemy.
jungle,
Yes.
just showing that this guy invades and dies. So. Just from the statistic, you can say, like, Spooks, you know what? Don't invade. Just take your jungle, try and track Shernfire. That's all you need to do.
You know yourself, that's a collective team effort, though. That's props to Direwolves. About protecting
being
the
able
jungle.
to track.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, being able to protect your jungler.
Yes,
Right.
as you pointed out, like, when Spooks invades, his top lane wouldn't have priority, or his mid lane
Mid-lane's in
wouldn't
base.
have,
Two times.
His mid laner was in base. So, like, this is like... I mean,
So that's just to break that down because people might not understand. That's a mind game you're trying to do. It's
when
like
you-
you
when
wouldn't
you-
expect me to be invading because Swift is in base.
When you invade the enemy jungler, you would want your team to be like near you. But if your teammate is in base, like
I think
do
what,
I need to, yeah.
I
like,
think
what
what
do you
Aaron's
do?
trying to say is that it's basic League of Legends.
Yeah.
It's not like not to harp on like a negative or anything, but like it's not hard. This is one of the first things you learn as a competitive jungler. Invade when you have priority
But
in your
what
lanes.
what I'm asking is that the mind game? You're like, well, obviously they know he's in base,
Yeah.
so it'd be a crazy, stupid move to
I think-
invade
I
now.
think-
I'm going to do it.
I think
No.
no.
You can call, like, especially early game, you can call, like, okay, this guy has about this much gold, he's going to base. And I want to say that I've been playing with Carbon for a long time, and I know in these grand finals that you do forget about fundamentals.
Yeah.
You would just hope after
That's
doing...
a low-grade shade to throw Carbon then?
you're just shading every jungler at the moment.
No, like Carbon...
Oh, I hate
agree with me.
junglers. They're the worst
No,
breed.
but like, I'm just saying that, like, you would think... I think Spooks has been in grand finals enough that he would understand.
He's
Yeah.
won enough against you.
All right.
I don't want to talk to you. Can we get another analyst?
All right, let's wrap this up because we're about to get into our third game of this series as Dials are up 2-0. Before we do that, we have a behind-the-scenes video from Sarah Ann.
Putting together the OPL Grand Finals includes a lot of moving parts. From set dressing to player movements, stage tech and league operations, there's a lot going on and it's all happening at once. So let's take a look behind the curtains and see how it's all run. This is Hoagie, who is the head ref of the OPL and also does QC. Are you able to talk to us about what you're doing here?
Yeah, sure. You know what? I'd imagine that if you're a player at home, you don't really know what a head referee does, but very similar to traditional sport, there's a head official that really makes sure that the games are fair. I make sure that everybody gets into the lobby properly, the game launches properly, that there are no issues with our tournament realm or anything like that. Additionally to that, you know, whenever you see an issue or a pause on stage, it really comes down to me to really see if the issue is game impacting, if it warrants a remake or a chrono break, or if we just continue playing through. And as you can see in the other monitor here, there's player cameras, so I make sure that the players keep, you know, the headsets that you see on screen on. They can't hear the other teams in other rooms. And we monitor their communications to make sure that, you know, they're not trying to cheat or do anything like that, which we've never really seen here in Oceania.
This man right here, Matt, is our producer and he works in the control room. Are you able to talk to us about what happens in there?
Sure. Pretty much everything that you see on camera is all coming through our control room. So from the back to the front of the control room, we start with Maddie, who's in charge of social media. So every time we have someone tweet in or say something to us that we want to get on stream, it all comes through Maddie. Next in line, we have two of our observers who sit in the middle row. So the reason we have two observers is that one of them sits slightly ahead of the other one and gives him a bit of a heads up in the laning phase of the game as to what's going to happen, where he needs to go, what he needs to look at. And then the other one is our main observer, who is getting all the action that you see on camera. On either side of them, we have the two Brendans. One Brendan is our graphics operator, who's running on the Expression graphics machine, which is made by a company called Ross. So we have two outputs for that machine, so we can have two different types of graphics coming out of there at any time. The other Brendan, who sits on the other side of the observers, runs our EVS. That's our record and replay system. So if we ever want to do replays at the end of the game with the analyst desk, we do that off our second replay system. The front row, we have the master himself, Richard Chow. So he's been doing audio with the OPL since day dot. So he knows it probably better than anyone else. And Richard's the one that you need to do a shout out to if you want Dodo Sin, which he absolutely loves. Then we have Right Benji, who's our director. And of course, everyone knows Right Benji. He's been around since day dot as well. And he's directing our shows. He also does all the broadcast content during the week. So everything that gets filmed with the features with the teams, that's all Benji doing that with our cameraman Max. And then I sit next to Benji. So during the week, I'm trying to make sure that everything's prepped for show day so that I come in and can sit there and watch it all and hope that it all goes to plan, which it never does, and make it the best viewing experience possible. So that's us.
That's just some of the work that goes into the OPL. But for now, let's take a look at some highlights from game number 2.
And the Chiefs, they're going to be able to pick up first blood, and it goes to Raze. But look at Spook's help. He has to flash away. Sternfire, though, gets locked down. King flashes on his face. He'll get a kill for himself as well. Egypt taking turret shots. What the heck is happening in the bottom lane? Going in. Can he get a penetrating gaze? He does. Good damage delivered to the back line. Spook jumps in. Look at Big Swims. He's already taken down Fantix. However, Chippies gets the return kill. Baron picked up by the Direwolves. Chiefs are trying to fight this one back. Big Swims will not lose today. He's already got on a double. Raze is trying to chase them down, but the Direwolves still got the Baron. No cleanse available for Fantix. Big Nah locks down King as well. The Chiefs pull on in. Big Swift will not lose, and they get 3 kills in that team fight. Walking over Scrying on. He's going to go for the spike contest. He gets it. Showfire has stolen Baron away from the Chiefs. He brings Spooks into the team as well. What a disaster. Big petrifying gaze as well. Direwolves are trying to cut this one out. Is it going to be enough? Raze gets Fantix. Will take down 2 for his troubles. Running away from the Acathian surprise. Lives through it. And look at Big Swift. He's killed King. Swift was pushing forward. What a team fight from the Chiefs. Raze turns around, trying to get on top of Fantix. Flushed away from Surefire. But the Direwolves collapse. They ace the Chiefs. They're going to take game 2 as they march towards the Nexus here. What a fantastic performance. 2 games back to back. They're at match point. They want to go to Worlds, and they can taste it. They are so close. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to get into game number 3 of the Specifier series, and the Direwolves are already sitting at